Connecting graphs of f, f prime, and f double prime. In mathematics, we are often accustomed to being given a picture of a graph and answering questions about the function as shown in that graph, much like we practiced in the first section. However, as we venture further into calculus, we may be given the graph of the first or second derivative and asked questions about the original function. We must become familiar with the information that each graph provides us in order to accurately answer the questions. So let's review what we discovered in the first chapter of this unit. F of x is increasing when what occurs? Well, f of x is increasing when f prime of x, or the derivative of f of x, is positive. And we found out that f of x is decreasing when the derivative, or f prime of x, is negative. And using this information, we can determine that we have a local max when we go from increasing to decreasing, or f prime of x goes from positive to negative. And similarly, f of x has a local minimum when f prime of x changes from negative to positive, because the negative means decreasing and the positive means increasing. So a local minimum is created there. So this means that we can determine several things about f of x when the graph of f prime of x is positive, negative, or 0. We also found out about concavity. We found that f of x is concave up when its second derivative, or f double prime of x, is positive. Remember, positive concave up looks like a smiley face. And we know that f of x is concave down, or makes a frown, when f double prime of x is negative. And then we know that f of x has a point of inflection when its second derivative changes from positive to negative, or negative to positive. Or even more generally, f double prime of x changes signs. So this means that we can determine several things about f of x when a graph of f double prime of x is positive, negative, or 0. From now on, before proceeding with questions involving graphs, consider this number one piece of advice. Ask yourself the question, which graph am I looking at? And then these follow-up questions can also come up. Is it f of x, the original function? Is it f prime of x, the first derivative? Or is it f double prime of x, the second derivative? And what information do each of these pieces provide us?